Welcome to ThePrint. I am Sourav Barman. We are in Meghalaya, and in this interview, we have been joined by the state's Chief Minister, Mr. Conrad Sangma, who comes from a very illustrious political family. He's the son of the region's stalwart politician, Punno Sangma, and the former Lok Sabha Speaker as well. Thank you, Mr. Sangma.
Thank you.
So I'll begin with the most pressing issue facing Meghalaya right now, and it is making national news in terms of the Khasi Students Union, going after migrants and outsiders from the state. And you have made statements in the past saying how they are not really authorized to carry out such inspections. So in that case, why are you not really going after them? Why?
First of all, it's not the most pressing issue. We have floods in the state. We have a large number of projects that are going on in the health sector. We have a large number of projects and issues from the agriculture sector. But of course, press decides to choose the topics they find most pressing. And like you have started with a topic in that. So it's the most pressing issue for the press. So it's not a pressing issue. It is an issue, but I shouldn't say it's the most pressing issue. It would be wrong to say it. But it's an issue nonetheless. We have to address it. We have to discuss it. So I would just like to give that small bit of thing that it is maybe a pressing issue for the press. The most pressing issue for the press.
The most pressing issue.
So yeah, but it is an issue. It is an issue. So that's number one. Number two, in this entire situation that is there, incidents have happened. We had individuals coming in and checking. Based on that, 10 cases have been filed against different organizations and individuals. And many of them have been picked up. Then, of course, bails have been given based on the provisions that were there. Yesterday there was an incident where they tried to enter, but the police was very forceful and ensured that nothing moved forward. So therefore the police is doing its part, and definitely there's a lot of action being taken. And at the same time we are engaging to figure out what is the concerns, and wherever there are genuine issues or concerns that are there, that we're trying to work out and see where we can address them and move forward in this. The issue of migration and workers coming from outside and working has been an issue not just for us in our state, but even in big states like Karnataka, Maharashtra. Just Maharashtra, Karnataka was supposed to pass a law that would make sure that there was reservation in the private sector.
They put it on hold for now.
So you can imagine it's an issue throughout the country and the world, in fact, because it's about livelihood, it's about jobs, and obviously citizens are concerned about that, and everybody would like to see that the jobs are there for their people. So it's a concern. So therefore, we need to address it in a manner where all these things are addressed from the job point of view also. But at the same time, as I said, I've been firm on my stand that if there is an issue and concern, you can approach us and you can inform us. And wherever you find that the law and is not being implemented in letter and spirit, you can formally complain to us and we will take action. But checking yourself is something that I've been very clear, that is not as per the law. So therefore, that is, and whoever intervenes in that or tries to do something in that, then the law will take its course, and necessary provisions are there in the law to take action, and it will be done, and it is being done as we speak.
So you clearly feel that the concerns and anxieties are legitimate that these groups have?
Depends on what you're talking about legitimacy. Whether you're talking of checking of work permit, as they call it, number one, there's nothing called work permit. There is a registration that is there. There's no provision in the Central Act or the State Act that has anything called work permit as such. But there is a registration process. So I'm guessing they're referring to registration. So is it legitimate to check those to check the registrations? No, it's not legitimate. But is there a concern for the issue of illegal immigration or even illegal immigration, or foreigners coming and working in the state and we're not being able to check? Yeah, of course, there's a genuine issue in that. We need to check that, and that's the reason why we have put up laws in our own state which looks into that, checks into that. If you recall the Interstate Migrant Act, requires you to register if you're bringing in 5 or more people out here. So there was a lacuna in the system where what if one individual comes? And therefore the state came out with its own act saying that even one individual who's coming to work must register. So therefore illegal immigration is an issue. Jobs for our local people is definitely a genuine issue. But how are you going to address it and concern? Is this the way? Well, it may not be. So checking it, absolutely not, as I said. So it depends on what is legitimate you're saying. Concerns are genuine. Concerns are issues that are there, that the jobs should be there for the local people. Absolutely. We have come out with our investment policy in Meghalaya, where we have said that wherever the incentives will be given to anybody, to be eligible to get incentives, the non-managerial staff, 90% has to be local. So these are ways in which we are trying to ensure that is done. So yes, as I said, whether the issue is genuine or not, or whether it's legitimate or not, depends on what issue you're talking about.
Today you had a meeting with the KSU union, and so after the meeting, many of them came out and said, one criticism against you has consistently been the fact that you are not really aggressive when it comes to implementing ILP. The fact is, you have passed a resolution in the state assembly, and it was supported by across the divide. But this particular quibble that they have against you, that you are not aggressive when it comes to making a case for the implementation of ILP, if it can be done in Manipur in 2020, why not Meghalaya?
So, number one, when you said implementing of ILP, that's incorrect. So I just wanted to correct your statement, because when you speak in press and public, even every word matters. So therefore, the implementation of ILP is not there. That is incorrect to say, because the Government of India has not included the state of Meghalaya in the Act. So therefore, for us to implement doesn't arise until Meghalaya is included in the list.
For ILP.
So we are the only government that has made a case by passing a resolution. In the past governments, if you remember the Congress government earlier, they rejected the proposal of ILP. They didn't even bring a resolution in the House. It is my government that brought a resolution and unanimously passed a resolution that ILP should be put in. So, who has made the case? Has it been the past government or my government? So we have made a case. I have met Honorable Home Minister more than 7-8 times on this particular issue. Even in my recent visit to Delhi, I have brought up the case. But it depends on Government of India, how we move forward, and that's something that is not in my full control. In case of the issues that were there raised with the fact in Manipur, there was a demand in the CAA when it came out. There was a demand that there should be some mechanism to protect the states in the northeast from the possible impact of the CAA. When that happened, they were looking at provisions under which they will be able to protect the states. And hence, sixth schedule was one way in which they really looked at protection of the states which could be vulnerable because of the CAA.
Meghalaya is already under sixth schedule.
Yeah, so let me just complete. Yeah. So, in that process, putting up sixth schedule in Arunachal was impossible because there are many, many tribes out there. Then putting up the sixth schedule in Manipur was not possible because they have got the inner, valley, and they have got issues with the outer Manipur also. So the only provision that could be brought in order for them to have that protection was the ILP at that point in time. So the circumstances under which it was brought in have to also be seen and why it was done at that point in time. So those things have to also be looked into while we discuss. So Meghalaya had the sixth schedule area protection based on which the CAA was then exempted from our state. The other states of Manipur and Arunachal did not have, and for them to bring in sixth schedule there was not possible because of the complications of the state, and hence ILP was the only way for them to bring in that provision, and that's what they came with.
In your discussions with the centre, with Home Minister Amit Shah, or as recently as last week with PM Modi, you must have brought it up, these issues,
sure,
including ILP. And what has been the response? Did the centre say that implementing ILP in Meghalaya would be violative of the Constitution of India?
No, that discussion did not go to that level. We were with Honorable Prime Minister, of course, I discussed more of developmental issues and issues that are of a larger economic impact and policy. But this issue I had discussed with the Honorable Home Minister. And I told you I have in about 6 to 7 different occasions I have brought this issue up. And he gave me a very patient hearing, as always, and listened to all our concerns. And that's it. He said that we are examining and we will get back. So that was the end of the discussion for the ILP.
So, coming to your meeting with PM Modi, after the meeting, you tweeted how you have sought some rupees 1,000 crore for the redevelopment or the development of the new Shillong City project. So, what has been the response from the center, from Mr. Modi?
So when I went and met Honorable Prime Minister, there were 2-3 issues that I brought up with him. I mentioned to him about the Maukunu Knowledge City, and we have applied for the I think it was called the E-Challenge, if I'm not wrong, of a new township, where I think about 6 to 7 townships will be selected throughout the country. And Meghalaya has put in its proposal also for Maukunu. It's a proposal where about 500 crores will be given to as a prize money, you can say, to cities that do well in the presentation and who plan it well. So I requested Honorable Prime Minister that if Shillong, the Maukunu Knowledge City, can be selected for that. Second, I informed him that we are going for a massive program to shift the administrative city out of Shillong in terms of the decongestion plan. And also Shillong has been Shillong for the last 50 years, 70 years, but there's not been a major kind of expansion that is taking place. And we see a great opportunity by doing that. And therefore, we showed the plan to him. He loved it. And I requested that we are, for both Maukunu as well as our new Shillong Township, the investments will be more than 5,000-6,000 crores. And we are raising the money from private sector investment, from the state's revenue, and from the E-Challenge that is there in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And I requested that if a special package could be given by him for the administrative city, and I requested for a 1,000 crore package. He was very happy with the proposal, and he said definitely he'll examine it in a positive manner, but we have not got any official response yet. This was just last week. But I am hoping that we will get some kind of support from Honorable Prime Minister.
So your party is a part of NDA, and in this Lok Sabha elections, it fell short of expectations when it comes to its numbers. And in Meghalaya, in fact, your party also the performance was, to put it mildly, dismal. So have you identified the factors that may have gone against you?
Yeah. So we have, yes, we've looked into all of that. I have always believed that every election is different. Issues and agendas in every election are different. And therefore, this election, of course, was a tough election for us. And we have looked into many factors. Somewhere along the line, people have mentioned about our alignment with different political parties as an issue. In some areas, we have looked at certain aspects of anti-incumbency that could have played. In certain areas, people have mentioned about, and of course, other factors also are there, local factors which have been there. So multiple factors have been identified, and we are now in the process of finding ways to amend those and find our way forward. I think what is important is to learn from every election and every defeat. And I'm, for one, very particular about that. And I can tell you that we have done our homework at the organizational level. I have done my homework at my personal level. And whatever steps we need to take to rectify, we have already started the process. And we will continue to work. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to leave this particular situation that we faced behind us and move forward in a much more positive manner for the party.
A small follow-up to previous question. One of your cabinet colleagues, he also spoke about how the BJP's socio-political agenda does not really sit well with the people of this region. And he spoke about how BJP has been focusing on Hindutva rather than governance over the last 1 decade. So do you think that has also affected NPP negatively?
I remember in 2016, uh, BJP had openly supported me when I contested my MP election. And I remember that BJP ministers had come and campaigned for me openly. And in that MP election, we won by almost 1,95,000 votes in I think. Uh, every situation and every kind of factor can have plus and minus impact in politics. In this particular case, there could be some areas where the concerns were there, but to completely blame any political party for whatever happened to us is not fair and it's not correct on our part. We are examining all of that. As I said, we have seen the plus of it. Even in other ways, we have seen the impact it didn't have in 2016 when we were there. Of course, there was a very strong sympathy factor that time. But still we would have seen the impact of that, but it didn't happen that time. So it's not always we can see black and white. There are always gray areas. But again, as I said, it's wrong for me to blame anybody. Whatever situation happened, I have to take responsibility as a party president. And whatever rectification is to be done, I will do at my level.
So in 2016, Manipur was yet to happen. What happened in Manipur over the last 1 year?
2017.
So including burning of churches. And you being a neighboring state, do you think the center has done enough to quell the situation there?
If you look at Manipur, it's a very complicated situation right now. And it is, again, it is for anyone to go into the analysis and say whether enough was done or not done. There is a lot of complication which doesn't meet the eye, I should say. And a lot of factors that at the local level we need to push. And and the situation has been complicated because of so many other external factors also. But having said that, at the end of the day, as leadership, we all need to take responsibility. We all need to find a way forward in this. Even as a political party, we are also very concerned. In fact, we have been continuously urging the government of India also to move forward in a constitutional provisional manner to ease the situation out there. There's a lot of trust deficit that has come into Manipur, and many factors have affected the entire situation. Trust deficit has been there for a long time in certain levels, but when the situation came out, it exponentially grew. So we'll have to see how to move forward in this. But of course, the center can play a very strong role in making that possible and moving forward in the right direction by sending good message and positive message across. But that again depends on the central government how they deal with the situation. It is very complicated, and but all said and done, I'm very clear that we need to find some solutions. And as leadership, whether it's at our party level or whether it's at the national level or at the state level, we need to act to find solutions to that, and we need the people's support also to be able to move forward in the right manner. Because as I said, because of the trust deficit that's there, no matter what steps that are taken, we're not finding any kind of way forward in terms of the consensus also that with the peace, how the peace should come in. So all these factors will have to be looked in. I do hope and pray that we are able to find a way forward in this, but it is a very complicated situation.
Last question. Going ahead in the next few months and years ahead, starting from the MDC polls to the next assembly polls, do you think, do you foresee NPP tying up with the BJP in the next election, next set of polls?
Well, we have been very clear in this, in our politics in the past many years. We have not actually tied up with BJP. In the last election also, it was the BJP did not put up a candidate, and then they ultimately ended up supporting the NDA candidate, which is ours. That is what happened. So the tie-up has never been actually formal. We have always maintained our stand that we would like to contest our elections on our own ideologies. So therefore, there is highly unlikely that there will be any kind of situation where there will be tie-up. But we have been very clear that we work in coalition. Will as and when elections are done, based on situation of governance, we decide on what to do and what is in the best interest of the stability and the governance of the state and the benefit of the people. But yes, we've been very particular about the situation, and it is highly unlikely that we will have any kind of understanding, or any kind of, not understanding I should say, any kind of pre-poll alliance with any political party for the matter of fact. And we would like to see that. We would want to push the NPP forward, no question of having political alliance with any party is most likely the scenario which we are going to see. But obviously we'll see case to case basis in terms of the elections as they unfold, and we'll take a decision.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.